is where she failed before. Because in my question, I'm asking if I can get it any sooner. She failed at that before, but now she goes on to the next step because she's figured out that I might have another way to get this here, the jacket here, just a little bit sooner. So you can see get nearby stores. She's trying to see if there's a store near me. Now she's actually looking into the store inventory API. And then she's figured out that, hey, I need to go back to the customer. I need to ask if the customer would like to do an in-store pickup. She doesn't just schedule it herself. She's going to come back and ask me as well. So do I want a new in-store pickup? Yes, I do. We're going to enter, and we're going to see the conclusion of Atlas, and there we go. So now Sophie is figuring out these last few actions, which is to change our delivery method and schedule an in-store pickup. Now, what's amazing about this is all I have to do is deploy this agent, and it works everywhere, whether we're in voice, like we just were a moment ago, or whether we're in Apple Business Messages or in a chat on our website. It just works. It's all one agent. And to prove that to you, I want to give Sophie a call back, and I hope this works, but we're going to give Sophie a call back, and we're going to see if she now has this new capability. So let's give it a shot.
Hi, I'm Sophie, your Saks AI assistant. How can I help you today?
Yep. Hey, Sophie. It's me, Patrick, again. I wonder if you can just give me an update on my order delivery from my most recent order.
Is this about the Saks Fifth Avenue Collection Cashmere Baseball Bomber Sweater?
Yep, that's the one.
Great. We have 2 delivery options available. I can have it delivered within 3 to 5 business days, or it can be picked up as soon as today at Saks San Francisco. Which option works best for you?
Oh, that's great. I would love to come into Saks San Francisco and pick it up.
Great. I've placed the order and notified the in-store client advisor that you will pick up the items. They will have it ready for you within the next 3 hours. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nope, that's fantastic. Sophie, thank you so much. You've been super helpful. Thank you. So you can see how we think that this is going to transform everything, how you can get these agents to reason and do anything that you might need them to do. Remember, if you can describe it, you can get Agentforce to do it. But as Clara said, we need to be able to do this with trust as well. And so we're excited to show you our new Omni Supervisor, where you can not only come in and look at what all of your human agents are doing with your customers, but even look at what your Agentforce agents are doing here as well. And we can see that Saks, they maybe have actually rolled out quite a few agents, Sophie and maybe a few others, because depending on where you are in the world, you might want to talk to people in all sorts of different ways. So we can see some of my last few interactions here. We can see an interaction that closed a little while ago between our customer, Claire, who had some tailoring help done. Let's give that one a listen real quick.
I'm Kevin, your Saks AI assistant. How can I assist you today?
Hi, so
That's awesome, but what's really cool about Omni Supervisor, just hang up on that, is that we can even listen to calls as they're happening in real time. So we've got 2 calls here that are actually happening, one here with Brian Green. Looks like he's having some problems with his password. Let's give that one a listen.
Problem at all. I can send you a link to reset your password. Would you like me to stay on the line while you create a new password?
No, I don't want to stay on the line while he recreates his password. I think 1 customer service call was enough. Super exciting. Thank you all so much for your time. Mark, back to you.
All right. You guys need to give me some background music while we're going on. Does anybody want to respond to what you just watched? Oh, there's a microphone moving around now. Anybody want to respond to what you just watched? Can I have a mic, please? Anybody want to respond to what you just watched? There's no right answer or wrong answer. Did you like what you saw? Right? Are you here? Did you like what you saw? Do you think it's interesting? I know some of you are thinking maybe it's too sophisticated for us, but it's not. Because it creates jobs. There will be people who will do the program, am I making sense? Who would now have jobs, you know what I mean? And give us more efficient running system. I run a business, this business that you're all sitting in. Sometimes my clients call from abroad. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're calling my staff. My staff will answer them. I don't know if you get the point I'm making. Because they are sleeping, right? Or they've closed from work. What this does for me is the ability to be guaranteed that anybody who calls will get the best possible service without struggling. And we don't lose out on our customers. How many of you have called MTN helpline or Airtel? Have you seen that they get angry with you sometimes? Have you seen that they shut down the phone sometimes? Am I right? Have you seen that they do all sorts of stupid things? They will tell you we're going to help. I've had people on MTN who will tell me they're going to help me and they have done it. And then I'll drop the phone. And once I drop the phone, I go and check they haven't done it. And the problem with their helpline is that when you call back, you don't get the same person you were talking. Am I right? So you can see how much this is going to improve everybody's life. Now, I know I'm starting from a very complicated thing, but I just wanted to show you.
I think what's important in training AI.
I just want to tell you how exciting this new world is. That's really what I'm trying to say here. So that's what I'm trying to get your response. What's your response to what you just watched? What do you think? How do you think this is going to affect us? Anybody? I thought it was only my church people that don't answer people when they ask questions. I now find that it is global. Anybody? Sorry? Give him the mic, please. As soon as our keynote speaker arrives in a few minutes.
Well done, sir. What we just watched is interesting. And what I have saw is that it makes our service worth it.
Yes.
Because you have someone you have an AI system that can respond to you whenever you call it.
Exactly.
Even if the CEO or the manufacturer of the business is not there, we have something that can work on our behalf, and we are going to get the right results. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's good. Anybody else? Who runs a business here? Maybe not so much a school, because schools are whatever, but who runs a business of their own? Do you think this will be of benefit to you? I know it will help me greatly here. I can fire my staff. I'm joking. But even a school, it will work. Am I making sense? Yeah. You want to say something? Yeah.
Thank you so much. What you just said now inspired me to say this, because you mentioned that this is going to create a lot of jobs. We are aware that this is definitely also going to shut down a lot of jobs. But one thing I tell people when, we see things like this, innovation, is that, and what clearly this shows us is there is something new coming that is here already that can be beneficial to all of us. And what it would mean is that, of course, definitely it's going to take jobs from the people that are taking calls before, but it's going to bring other jobs. Now, it is resetting, advancements like this resets our lifestyle to bring human being back to the point that, okay, your job is not to take the calls. Your job is just to probably think and, make life better for ourselves. So this is already doing that. So we will have more time to do other things and probably make life, look at other ways where we can make life better for ourselves and then work on it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's really good. With all of this we're going to talk about this day, we're going to focus on some of these things. He's going to be speaking as well. So we're going to be talking about all these things. But the whole point of this program, you can put up my slide. We can't wait anymore. Put up my slide. The whole purpose of this meeting is to create an awareness. There's a disconnect. The gentleman that's going to be speaking this morning, Dr. Tunde Adegbola, has been in AI for over 20 years. Most people don't know that AI started in 1950s. Started in 1954, to be precise, when the first AI was actually automated response was actually created. And so we're doing a little bit of an exhibition at the Tech Hub where we're walking you through the history of AI, starting from that 1950s experience for you to see how far we've come. So people thinking that AI is something new, and somebody like Dr. Adegbola has been at AI for over 20 years. That goes to show how much this technology has been at the back. But all of a sudden, it's come to the front because we now have the CPUs, the computers, the chips that can process what AI needs to do. And you now hear about things like large language learning machines and things like that. It's because the technology has now become available. There has been an acceleration. That's Dr. Adegbola. So we're glad he's here. So basically, what we're doing, can you put up my slide? You guys are absolutely something else. Can you please put up my slide? Am I controlling it? Do you have the remote? Yeah. First and foremost, this is Summit and Expo, New Streams, the Bridge Network, and iBridge Hub. Together with our partners, we are the ones who started off a few years ago by starting, go to the next slide, because I can't wait. We are the ones, go on. We're the ones who brought you the Southwest Regional Expo, where we tried to introduce you to e-commerce, as a matter of fact, and we went on through the years. It's not changing. We went on through the years. Can you please move forward? Yeah, we did Women First. Can you go on? It's not moving. Future of Education, and so on and so forth. And today we're bringing you this, Wetin Be Ai. And the reason is there's such a gap. And I don't want to preempt Dr. Adegbola this morning, but I totally believe, and I think he believes it also, that this is our last opportunity to catch up with the rest of the world. One of the things Doc used to tell me many years ago was the fact that the ultimate is not for you to even type on a computer. And we're going to do a few demos this morning. It's not for you to type on the computer. The ability to just speak to a computer and it does what you ask it to do. We're there. We're there. And so the whole purpose of this is to create an awareness. We are behind and it doesn't seem to bother anybody. This is the only AI conference that I know of outside Lagos. Because we're just sitting down waiting for government or somebody to solve our problems. And it's been bothering me for over a year. So last year I decided to put up this conference, and it was supposed to be for December, so we moved it to January. Can you move my slide forward, please? Keep going. We moved it to January. But by the time in December, when we wanted to do this conference, there were 3 major or 4 major AI platforms: ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, and then I think there's one more. I can't remember the name. They were the ones on the front burner. But by the time we got to January, that's between December and January, there were so many platforms online, which is what technology does. It accelerates. So I knew we weren't ready, and I felt we were not ready because these platforms were I didn't want people to come here and just go and study something online and come and pour it out. I wanted to give people a chance to be able to, you know what I mean, understand this technology and how it applies. And so at the beginning of this year, I was approached by AI Nigeria to come up, to back up on this program. They encouraged me to bring this program back to the forefront, which is what we're doing now. And so we're partnering with AI Nigeria and all of these partners at the bottom, all the way, and let me quickly do that. We're partnering with Alt AI, which is Dr. Adegbola's firm, with Page Carton, which is Ayo's firm, and we're partnering with Wakanda. They will be here this afternoon, and one of them will be speaking all the way from Germany, and then Talent and Dexterity. And so we partnered with all these people to bring this to you in such a way that you will begin to understand how to leverage this technology. Can you go on with my slide? However, let me start with the negative part of technology. And it's important that I start from here, because this is the problem that I'm a Christian by faith. And I know many of my colleagues feel this is an evil technology. But the problem is that as far as I'm concerned, this is neutral technology. I think you can use it for good, and you can use it for evil. And because of time, I won't play this video. This is Novel Harari. I'll play it later, where he talks about how evil AIs work. He says, you can tell for instance, if you tell an AI to cut certain corners, it will outthink even the most brilliant minds and cut corners. How many of you have seen fake videos of Obama dancing and things like that? So that's the danger of AI. It's there. But if we don't stand for something, we're in trouble. Am I making sense? All right? So we also have, in this particular thing, we're going to be pitching, some young people are going to be pitching their ideas. We had a partnership deal with a company called Stonelands that are here. They'll be here later on this afternoon to see those who are doing something in the AI market. Their job is to either invest in that company or help the company go to the next level. But they're going to be allowed to pitch their different ideas, and then we'll look at it, and if we feel that they're worth something, some funds will be given to them, or they'll be helped, or they'll be invested in. It all depends on what they put down. All right, let's go to the next slide. Go on. All right, the next one I want to talk about, even though I've spoken to you about the evil part, there is a lot of good that AI can do. My wife, the other day, we were in Lagos. She wanted to do a scan, an MRI. All right, she just had surgery. She needed to do an MRI. We went to a place in Ikeja because where we normally do it had closed, or they had problems with their equipment. And I remember we spent 5 hours, 1 hour or so to even do the MRI. Then another 3-4 hours waiting for the MRI scan to be presented, and then waiting for the radiologist or whatever they call them today to analyze it and give us a report, which we didn't even understand what he was going to do. And if he gave us that report, we can take it back to our doctors and we can sort things out. And we spent 5 hours. Now imagine, just for a moment, we apply AI to this. The scan is done. In minutes, reports will come. So there are many privileges. Mine is not to talk to you about the technology of it. Mine is to tell you that if we don't embrace what is happening now, we're putting ourselves in trouble. Let's go to the next. All right. And so I want to go all the way now. I'm going to go towards the end. Let's go towards the end. There's 2 videos I'm going to play for you before I invite Dr. Adegbola. We're already 30 minutes off. We'll adjust. All right. Skip all that. I can't do all that now. Go towards the end. I've already given you the number. It's 77 or something like that. All right? Now, I want you to listen to this young man called Steve Bartlett. Steve Bartlett is half Nigerian. But he's one of the youngest millionaires in the UK. His podcast is one of the most successful in the world. He's half Nigerian. Please don't forget that. It's the most popular YouTube channel in the world. He's made tremendous success. He's interviewed everybody from presidents to whoever he wants to interview. And everybody's eager to be on the stage with him. Are you guys ready with this video? Are you ready? Good. Not my media people. Are you guys ready with the video? Okay. So he becomes super successful. And somebody's asking him, why are you so successful? Why are you such a good entrepreneur? I need you to hear his answer. Are we there? I need it. And then the next video I'm going to play is Steve Jobs, after which I'll introduce Dr. Tunde Adegbola to you. We're also giving people a few minutes to come in. Are you guys... No, we're not ready, right? Okay, so let's leave it. Anyway, they ask him why he's very, very successful. And he says he doesn't know, that he's not a good entrepreneur. He says he has interviewed better entrepreneurs than himself. Then he talks about another man called Gary Vaynerchuk, but I don't know if many of you know him. He said that guy is also super successful, but not because they're unique entrepreneurs. He said, however, that the reason why he believes he's been put on the forefront of success today is because both of them have learned to leverage the tools that are available in the world today. Podcast, YouTube channels, and all that. And my challenge with us is that there are many people running skits in Nigeria and doing drama who are making quiet money. Am I making sense? And living comfortable lives. And the rest of us who are not skit makers and all that are still keeping quiet. Am I making sense? About the opportunities that the internet grants us. That's why we're doing this. It's just to create that awareness. All right? Okay. Let's listen to it.
these eyeballs looking at me. And people know me in the UK for being an entrepreneur. In the UK, they did this survey. They asked entrepreneurs which entrepreneur they admire the most. And for some bizarre reason, which I think was, I might have paid someone at some point, I was top of that list. And I reflected on that and thought, how is this possible? Because I'm not the best entrepreneur in the world. I interview entrepreneurs and I go, that guy, that woman, she's better, right? But when you look at my skill stack and you look at someone like Gary Vaynerchuk's skill stack, there's something we both have in common, which has put us on a pedestal. We both ran social media marketing companies for almost a decade. And what that meant is we are entrepreneurs who also within our skill stack had the ability to build audiences on this new digital stage called the internet. You take that away from my skill stack, you take the 10 years of me building a social media company out of my skill stack, I'm not on this stage now. There's no podcast, there's nothing. And so I say all of this because most of you, when you're thinking about self-development and training yourself, you'll make the mistake of just doubling down on a thing you're already good at. And actually, if you want to become the best in the world at something and noticed as the best in the world, you should ask yourself, what is the skill I need to add that is rare and complementary? When I say rare, I mean often not found in this industry. Because if you're a lawyer and you learn more law, that's not giving you an unfair competitive advantage. But if you're a lawyer and you learn AI, and you learn social media, you don't even have to be the best lawyer. You could be a mediocre lawyer, but just because of these additional rare and complementary skills, you will now be considered the best lawyer in the world.
I hope that makes sense to you. And that's what we're doing. We're simply trying to make you aware of these tools. You can sit on the fence after this program. The first year we did the e-commerce summit, we thought we were going to come the next year and build on the foundation of what we taught the year before. But when we called the meeting the next year, guess what happened? New people came. The people we taught last year didn't show up. So we had to start from ground again. Because there's something about us as Nigerians. Don't waste these 2 days if you're not planning to do anything with it. You've heard what he has to say. The final video I want to show before I introduce Dr. Adegbala to you is that of Steve Jobs.
I remember.
This is long before AI. Long before AI. And I want you to listen to his unique perspective about how God created human beings and why human beings of all the animals in the world is different. Shall we?
I remember reading an article when I was about 12 years old, I think it might have been in Scientific American, where they measured the efficiency of locomotion for all these species on planet Earth. How many kilocalories did they expend to get from point A to point B? And the condor won, came in at the top of the list, surpassed everything else. And humans came in about a third of the way down the list, which was not such a great showing for the crown of creation. And but somebody there had the imagination to test the efficiency of a human riding a bicycle. Human riding a bicycle blew away the condor, all the way off the top of the list. And it made a really big impression on me that we humans are tool builders, and that we can fashion tools that amplify these inherent abilities that we have to spectacular magnitudes. And so for me, a computer has always been a bicycle of the mind. Something that takes us far beyond our inherent abilities. And I think we're just at the early stages of this tool, very early stages. And we've come only a very short distance, and it's still in its formation, but already we've seen enormous changes. I think that's nothing compared to what's coming in the next 100 years.
How many of you know he's dead? We are the only animals who use tools. Ladies and gentlemen, AI is a tool. You can ignore it at your own peril, or you can embrace it. And like Steve said, and like Stephen said, it can amplify your life in ways you never could imagine. So welcome to Wetin Be Ai 2025. Thank you very much for making the time. I am Francis Madojemu. I'm your host for the next 2 days. This morning, with great pleasure and with great honor, I want to bring up a mentor of mine. I've known Dr. Tunde Adegbola since the World War, and he's been somebody that I looked up to for a very long time, my wife and I. He's guided us, guided our children, and many, many more people. And I believe he's an extraordinary gift to this country. His achievements span not only being a PhD holder in his profession, but developing software in our native languages for people like Microsoft. Not only that, he's built television stations in this country. But this issue of AI has always been at the back of his mind. And I think it's wonderful that in his lifetime, he's able to see some of the dreams they had, am I making sense, come to fruition right now. And so you're going to be having that privilege of having Dr. Adegbola, and you'll be able to ask him questions. So to give our keynote speech this morning, please welcome with me, with a clap, Dr. Tunde Adegbola. Can I get wipes, please? You guys, you know how things work. Can I get wipes, and can I get, or give me the other mic, yeah.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I must thank the organizers of this for inviting me to give the keynote address. Like he said, I got into AI about 35 years ago when I was studying for my master's degree in computer science. I was introduced to AI at the University of Wales. And when I got back to Nigeria, I was so excited about what I learned. And when I got back, I mean, just imagine, I got back, and as a master's degree holder, I wrote a proposal and took it to the University of Ibadan and said, well, this is where we should be heading. And the proposal was accepted, and we ran a one-week workshop titled Expert Systems for Effective Financial Management. And we brought together experts in the financial and cognate industries, banking, insurance, finance, and various other areas like that. And we had this one-week workshop, which was very successful. And after the workshop, the people who I work with said, well, you can't go, you now have to join us. And that was how I willy-nilly, kicking and screaming, became an academic, because I've always been in industry and I've always enjoyed industry. So that was when I started teaching as an associate in the University of Ibadan, and I've done that since then until now. Something that caught my attention in all this is, in those days, whenever my friends ask me, what do you teach? And I say, I teach artificial intelligence. It's like, what is this? What is it about? And that happened for close to 30 years. People keep asking, what is it about? Until ChatGPT. And when ChatGPT came out, at least 3, 4, 5 of my friends say, oh, today we now understand that thing you've been talking about. Well, that is just a little part of artificial intelligence, because it's a much, much, much bigger thing. So this morning, I just want to try to give you a kind of overview of what artificial intelligence is. How do I control the slides, please? Do I have control over the slides, or I just ask you to? Father, in the name of Jesus. So, please, okay, thank you. So, Wetin Be AI? And he answers, artificial intelligence now. Say, But wetin be artificial intelligence? Say, Now that you for say now, okay, make I try. And for the rest of this morning, I'm going to try. Artificial intelligence, intelligence will be artificial. Thank you. So, which is? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, it is easy to define artificial. We have an idea what artificial is. Okay, thank you. If we say something is artificial, well, it means it's not natural. That means it didn't occur by the forces of nature. It was it has a hand of humans in it. It is not natural. It is contrived. It was thought of and made. It's made